and welcome back to another podcast. This is Ghost Stories Told from the South. I am your co-host, Lexi.
And I'm your host, Steven Boo. or Uncle Boo.
Whatever you feel like calling him.
I do not talk like that. Blah, blah, blah.
We have some spooky stories to tell you guys today. This is our 17th episode.
I hope y'all like the old Wendigo special.
Yeah. Um, we did do, like, if you guys haven't noticed, that will be a two-parter. So,
Yes. And I've been putting some stuff on Patreon, too. We're going to start putting some, extra stuff on Patreon. Just for the Patreon guys. So come on over. Join the club.
yeah, it's awesome. So, as always, we're going to keep our intro short and do our outros long and sweet. So if you want your shout outs and everything and
We'll
our
do it
info,
towards the end.
just listen for the end. Okay, so let's get started. Did you hear that come out? Let's get started.
You think
Okay.
you're from New York.
So, Dad, why don't you kick it off? What are you going to do?
Okay, my stories today are the Colorado Riverdale Road in the Delaware Mr.Chew, and then Hawaii, the Night Marchers.
The Night Marchers.
Yeah, they're like little people. It's their version of leprechauns.
Leprechauns?
Yeah.
Is it a rainbow
Not
in a pot of
Hawaii.
gold?
Okay.
Is that
The
mean?
Colorado, excuse me, Riverdale Road. Excuse me. Shouldn't have
Ew.
slammed that Coke. Located in Thornton, Colorado, and is a mile stretch of road that has numerous ghost stories and legends. They say the road is cursed and everything around it is. Some people have been there and will not go back, but people haven't seen or felt nothing. That's weird though. They said some people it's not that they see something or hear something, it's just how the place makes you feel.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's why they won't go back. They didn't see anything.
Just how it makes you feel.
Yeah. Well, one of the legends is there was a house built by the road, and the man that lived there got what the heck did I write? Oh, possessed by the devil. I was like, what? Anyways, he built the house there and was living there, and he got possessed by the devil, and he killed his family and burnt the house down, and then killed himself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a doozy.
Yeah. The gates of the home are said to be one of the gates to hell, and other reports say dead animals have been left there at the gates by a satanic cult. They believe.
Uh, ew.
Yeah. So I say we go visit this place.
We'll drop off Stephanie.
No, we'll leave you
No,
there.
no.
You're gonna be the. Hey, this is your podcast.
We'll
You're gonna be
leave
the
you. You're the
investigator.
oldest.
Um, anyways, they say for satanic use, cults and stuff. A lot of these stories go back 100 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Native Americans say the shifters.
The
Have-
shapeshifters?
They just said, oh yeah, shapeshifters. I was like, the shapeshifters have been seen too. Some people have seen them change from animals into humans.
Remember the Wendigo story? Some people seen it change from like
Yes.
an animal to human or like human to animal. That's weird.
Yeah.
Shapeshifters. We should do something on those.
Yes. Yeah, but they say that stretch of road's just haunted all
It's
up and
just
down.
cursed.
Yeah, there's so many legends, so many stories. We're going to go to that place, Lexi. Have a picnic at the gates.
We should.
Psych.
No, we do. And then we leave like a goat or something and see what happens.
Oh wow, you wanna kill goats now? You
No, I'm
sicko.
joking. I'm joking. We're not trying to. No, that is like weird that it's just like one stretch of road. But I mean, if it's like anything to do with that house, then you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm doing. I know we said we were gonna stay in the U.S. for a little bit, but I decided I had to venture out a little bit.
Yeah, see, she always cheats and goes ahead. She tells me not to, but then she's like, oh, by the way, I'm going over Italy today.
So I'm gonna do Ontario, Canada. This
Hey,
is
we got some downloads from Ontario.
that's why I'm doing it. So I can do some stuff where other people are from, not just from the US. Okay, so this is the Century Manor Insane Asylum. What do you know? Lex is doing another asylum. I actually haven't done some of these in a while.
Mm-mm.
I've been doing other places. Okay, so that there,
Yeah.
if you want to look it up. Okay, so this place was originally named for the like. It was originally made for the people with like alcohol issues. They used to call them
Alcoholics.
inbreds. I guess is like the actual true name. No one calls them now. I don't think anymore, unless like you're like that person that likes to use like that kind of vocabulary. But for the most part, no one does that anymore.
They called alcoholics inbred?
That's what, yeah, back then.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah,
That's messed up. You're inbred. For real.
yeah. If you had
Wow.
alcohol problems.
Wow.
But, and then it ended up being like a mental health place, which, aka asylum. But they thought the people who had alcohol problems had mental health issues just because of like how they were, like when they walked and stuff, because they were drunk.
Oh my.
I was like,
What?
when I read that, I was like, that's the alcohol talking. You don't know how they are when they like
Oh my
are
God.
normal. So they made it for that. They were like did it to like experiment on drunks. Well, in 1887, basically a decision was made to then home like the lunatics, because you know and there was too many drunk people apparently. So like they did kind of a bit of both. Well, so this
A bunch
place,
of inbreds.
yeah, this place opened up in March of 1876. And it was a 529 acres in Hamilton. It's I'm gonna say Hamilton because it's like has like own property sort of.
Oh.
So just it's in Ontario though, but anyway. And there's like 5 other buildings around it that have their own name. So we're throwing out a lot of names today. Anyway, basically this place was another place that was just like self-sufficient, had its own farm, cattle, chickens, pigs, had a garden, a bakery, and a butcher shop. So like never had to go into town for anything. Well,
The butcher.
the initial capacity was 202 patients, and there was like 3 houses for the East Building, which is this one we're talking about. And the East Building was built November 1st of 1884.
Is that it?
Yes.
That place is huge.
Yeah. I've noticed that like other places, like in other countries, they have some huge insane asylums. Like they look like castles.
Yeah, this looks like a castle. It's 3 stories tall.
But whenever they did the initial capacity of the East Building, it only was able to hold 60. Then they went up to 202. So like they were working their way up. Well, like I said earlier, there was 3 houses. Well, so the Barton Building, that one could only go to 300 patients. And so could the Orchid House, which is another one. And those, I believe, were all within, like, the same...
Area?
Area.
Like
But
in a block.
I could be wrong about that. I think they were all in the same area. But, okay, the East Building / the Century Mayor Insane Asylum place, they first let, like, the, like, you just walk around and everything. Well, then, eventually, you know, they changed that. They were like, we're just going to torture patients. Well, so, you know how, like, today you have to have, like, a doctor's note, basically, to do anything?
Yeah.
Well, back then, you know how it was like if your parents didn't want you, a science
Oh
asylum.
yeah, let's
If
stick you in there.
whatever, like you didn't have to have a doctor's note. Well, they also ended up housing the most criminally insane. So, you know, you got stuck with murderers too.
Wow.
Well, and then eventually also I found out they had like a sewing room and a poultry shop. They had a powder house. They had a fire hall. They had a. I don't think this one's true, but I mean, it could be. I don't know. They had a skating rink, a curling rink. I don't know what that is. I think
A
it's.
curling ring?
Yeah, I think it's a curling rink. I think that's like a sport. I'm not positive.
Oh.
I think the sport. They had like a bowling, um, green area thingy, and they had like a tennis court. Not too sure on like that stuff, but also I don't know how the insane asylums run in Canada, or did. I don't know if they're any different from here. So like, I mean, if you're in Ontario and like you know about this place, please feel
Take
free
some
to
pictures. Send them to us.
yeah, and also please feel free to fix any like stuff I'm not saying right because like okay, so in September 30th of 1887, they had 625 beds available. Um, so it went from 60 to almost 700. So like it was pretty big. Well, it kept on going up and up and up. Well, by 1909, they had to get beds for 1,200 patients.
Jesus. Place
So
wasn't built for that many people.
no, it wasn't. So overcrowded, very, very much. Well, and in 1902, they had like established like nursing and stuff like that, like more care for them, but like for the nursing programs and stuff, like they still didn't get it. But it was also they had like a school thing just for the asylums, and they graduated like almost 300 nurses. But the people that worked there didn't last long because the thing closed down in 1956.
Wow.
So like, well, okay. So there's some deaths that I'm gonna go over along with like the ghosty stuff. So there was this one death. Um, I don't remember if it's a girl or boy, but we will see. Okay, so the first death is Bridget English.
Is she English?
I'm gonna say she. I don't know if it's a boy or girl. I'm pretty sure it is, but like you never know. Okay, so this person was very suicidal, and like back then, you know how stuff was for that. So she was found repeatedly like to be creating like nooses out of anything like to hang herself with, which is like very sad. Well, so she was cut down once, like she was basically like code blue, like they cut her down and saved her. Well, on November 10th of 1887, she used a knitting cotton and steam pipes while attendants were distracted. They guess she used that to like make it and do like hang herself with. It didn't go into like description, but like back then how they would do that versus now.
Yeah.
You know, basically like the attendants around her room, they were like supposed to be watching her, were distracted, and she killed herself. Well, they cut her down, and she was far gone. So she is supposedly one of the ghosts that haunts it. Well, then on August 1st of 1911, a fire broke out of the fourth floor of one of the other buildings, but it was still like in this unit thing. So some of the patients like jumped into the flames.
Wow.
And then 8 people died, and then it destroyed one of the main buildings. I thought that was crazy, but like I mean,
that is nuts.
It didn't
Why would
help.
they do that?
Well, it didn't help. Like they weren't getting the proper treatments. They were getting all these experiments done. Half of them might have already been like cuckoo in the head, and they weren't getting the help they needed, and then or some of them might have been just been like, I want to die.
Look,
and
here's the conditions.
oh yeah, like
Oh my
it's
God.
awful. So, well, the asylum is owned by the government of Ontario, and it was like that until the November 2000. Then the ownership was transferred to St. Joseph's Healthcare in Hamilton. So basically, another hospital thing owns it. Well, it's been vacant since 1995. 2015, the property was for sale. I don't know if anybody bought it because that's the most recent thing I could find on it. They said that the old infirmary remains, and like you can still see like I guess like blood spotches and the tools all out and stuff. Well, and I mean obviously it's haunted. They didn't really say what happens, but I mean like let alone the history and like the tragedies that happen, they say like the spirits are trapped and stuff. So, you know. But I thought that was pretty not cool, but you know how I am about my asylums. So, you know, but yeah, you guys should go look up pictures, and then if you're the folks from Canada and you know about this place,
Let us
you
know.
can send us pictures or let us know about it or whatever. Just you know,
Tell us about it.
were you about to say fill us in or something?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you got for us, Daddy-o?
I've got, this is from Delaware, Mr.Chew.
Mr.Chew.
Yep. Samuel Chew was a respected man. He was the chief of justice in the state, back in the colonial days. Still, even back then, there was bullies. So these bullies would make fun of him because his name was Chew. So every time he'd walk by or something, they'd go, "Ah, Chew, ah," laugh about it.
Yeah.
Well, he hated it so much that they say his ghost still haunts people that say chew, I chew like that, and he appears, and he appears in his robe and with the white wig, because that's how they dressed back then.
Mm-hmm.
He appears in that, and where'd I go? Lost my place.
Again.
Yeah, okay. Appears in his robe and his wig, and then he just scares you. He don't touch you or nothing, they say. He was the chief justice until he died in 1743.
Wow.
After the haunting started, they had a funeral for the ghost in Dover's Green, laying his spirit down in a native grave.
Wow. So I've always said chew, but that's never happened to me. But like I mean I don't know what kid doesn't go like chew whenever they sneeze.
Yeah, well these were adults, man, grown men picking on them, and it pissed him off, and it made him mad because back then, yeah, I mean he was the justice. That's kind of like he was the sheriff in town. So
yeah, that is.
And they didn't show him any respect or nothing. They just chew, ah ha ha ha.
Well, oh my god, that's mean. Well, hopefully you guys don't go chew or like whatever, because he might come back to haunt you.
He might come back.
He might be like, I've had enough.
Enough of the damn sneezing jokes.
Oh yeah, dude, I've sneezed like 6 times today. My allergies are so
I
messed
know.
up.
Hope you didn't say I chew.
I don't anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing another like asylum, sanitarium, psychiatric center, whatever you want to call it. But this one is in British British Columbia. Excuse me, I cannot talk.
British Columbia.
But we had some folks listening to us there, so
oh yeah,
wanted to cover that too. And I couldn't find like a lot of history on this. So, if you are from that area, just and you know this place, you know what to do. Just DM us and let us know what you guys know about it.
Give us a holla mala.
Okay, so this is the Tranquil Sanitarium, I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this place was built in 1907, and it was originally there to treat patients with TB until 1958. Then it was an institution for the mentally disabled until 1983, when I think it was abandoned and, left. Well, they have multiple buildings, like its own facility, and they have a lot of tunnels that connect underneath, like connecting all the buildings together. So that's all the history.
Wow, you did a lot of research on
I
that.
tried. I really couldn't find that much. And I don't use Wikipedia because anybody can edit it.
Yeah.
So, like, I really honestly couldn't find that much. But I found more ghost stuff than I found history.
Huh.
So, people say, like, whenever you visit it, they feel like this eerie, like, dark, depressing feeling. And then, apparently, you can see this mom crying for her child on the 6th and 8th floors. And you can hear voices of people or, like, kids playing in the children's ward or, like, in the main entrance. And also, you can see, like, bright orbs, not with your camera, but, like, also with your eyes, like, at the entrance. So, and then they also say that, like, the tunnels are, like, filled with, like, lonely voices and cries. So basically, the tunnels are, like, really, really creepy. And they do tours. So that's another stop on our many, many places we gotta go. But I'm gonna do another story because that one really is short.
Yeah. And
So-
this last one I have is kind of short, so I don't think we're going to be doing a full hour today.
It's all good.
I think I'm going to start doing, instead of 3 stories, I'm just going to go 4.
That's fine. So
Don't you ever find me.
that's fine. Okay, so
Hope a ghost gets you.
don't put that juju on me. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is the Crook Tunnel in Benson, Arizona. Okay, so this place was built in 1902, and then in June of 1905, there was a huge rock slide, like, in this tunnel. But, okay, before I go too in, this tunnel is like a train tunnel. It took me a minute to remember what it was, but it's a train tunnel.
What's it called?
Crook Tunnel, like,
Crook?
yeah. So on June of 1905, there's a rock slide in the tunnel. Well, the rocks, like, barely hit the train, and the train was going to Arizona. The large part of the rock, of the earth slide, like, slid down the track, and it blocked the train's passage. Like, didn't hit the train at all, like, it barely scratched it, but it blocked the tunnel. Well, so the tunnel was stuck in this dark, dark tunnel. I just said that tunnel. You know what I mean? The train was stuck in this tunnel, like, with all these people in it. Just... So, people had to come and fix it and, like, get the rocks out of the way. Well, then, in 1912, this guy named Henry, he was killed. He was run over by a train in the tunnel.
Lovely.
Yeah. His body was found that evening. His arms and legs were, like, broken, and one was almost completely severed.
Ugh.
Yeah. Witnesses said that he was a little drunk. So, like, that might explain why he was, like... it doesn't explain, like, what he was doing, but, like, it does help.
Yeah.
It said that he was ran over between 8:30 and 9:30 p.m. And now the tunnel is abandoned,
I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, people say they could feel the cold spots and stuff. And then they hear voices. And not just voices, like the dismembered ones, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like the ones you cannot make out. And then they see. I almost said hear.
Yeah.
They hear apparitions. They see apparitions and shadows. Which, I mean, when you get dragged down a tunnel and die, I don't blame you for wanting to haunt the place. So, I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I laugh at horrible stuff. I'm a awkward person laugher.
That's why the ghosts always chase you.
I laugh at
They're
horrible
going to be
times.
like, you're going to be going, how'd you die? And they're going to tell you, and you're going to start laughing, and they're going to chase you.
Yeah, it's bad. Okay, what's yours? Oh, yours is the
The night
Yeah.
marches.
The
This is from Hawaii.
Hawaii. Ooh, we have listeners
Yeah.
from Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Hawaii, don't we?
We got listeners from Hawaii. Are you okay?
No.
We're supposed to be trying to scare these people and tell scary stories.
And I'm I can't. Okay, you just
All right.
continue.
The
Ignore
night
me.
marchers are the ghosts of centuries-old warriors who still roam and haunt the islands today. They only appear at special days honoring the different Hawaiian gods throughout these spirits of the dead. Soldiers rise from the ocean and march in groups together at the sacred spot or the battlegrounds throughout the island chain. They are said to be the size of humans. They are in battle gear and have their weapons. So that'd be kind of creepy to see that in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that would.
In the middle of the night, you're chilling there, sitting in Hawaii, like, yeah, I'm just chilling with a drink. What the hell is that?
Yeah, that would be.
I'd be
I
like,
would be like, I'm tripping.
I think I've had too much to drink. That's only one drink, honey. I don't care. I'm seeing people.
They tap my drink. There's something in it.
But I'm not done yet. And they hover above the ground. They don't walk.
Oh, so they float.
Yeah.
They don't walk.
They march in the dark until sunrise. Then they return to the sea and wait for the next celebration of the gods.
You know what that reminds me of? Like the sea part, freaking Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah. And they say too, if a man looks at one of these things, they'll be forced to join the group forever.
This is like a different version of Medusa. Instead
Uh-huh.
of looking at her and turning to stone, you
You
have to
stuck for
join.
life. Oh, you gonna be a part of my club now? Ah, shit.
Wow.
I looked at you, I guess.
Just walk around with your eyes closed. It's fine.
Well, you got one more, maybe?
I have a lot more. I got y'all. It's okay.
Yeah, because I didn't realize mine were so short.
It's okay. I always come prepared.
But this is our last episode of August.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a little.
We
mini
can talk
thing.
about that if you want.
Towards the end. Yeah, we have something to talk to you guys about towards the end. But I gotta do something. I gotta do a few more stories to.
At least one more. Get us over the 30-minute hump.
Hump. I like how you did that. Okay, so this is. I did not write where this is down. I mean, I cannot talk today.
No,
I
you
did
can't.
not write where this is from. Well, I'm pretty sure if you type it on the computer, you can tell us. This is the Annie Little Elementary School, aka the Devil School. Okay, this place opened in 1918, and also there is a 1950 fire we gotta talk about, so look forward to that. Okay, so this place opened in 1918, and it served students until the 1950s. Well, it closed down because of the construction on highways I-95 and I-10. So it was condemned in 1971. Well, there's a little rumor about what was going on behind the scenes of the school. Well, the janitor apparently used to take students down to the boiler room and burn them alive. One day, one of the students apparently escaped, causing an explosion, and it started the 1955 fire. And people say this reminds them of the Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, besides like the nightmare part. Well, there's another rumor about the principal. The principal apparently was a cannibal, and she kept kids who were like sent to detention in a meat locker in his office. And the person gutted and hung them on spikes. So,
What the hell?
yeah. Well, in 1999, it was purchased with intentions of knocking it down, but it still stands. It's still there.
We can't knock it down.
So, well, I just said swell. Well, there's like satanic and cult activity there.
Oh man.
So, and apparently there's like this mumbling man who like he haunts the auditorium of like the elementary school. And you can hear strange noises and the usual like footsteps and stuff, the doors shutting and all that. Well, the mumbling man is said to be the person that does all this, and like if you get close enough, he just like mumbles behind you.
Mm.
So
That's
Well,
always fun.
I looked that one up and I was like, this like the real life, one of the Freddy Krueger life versions, people. Because I've heard about another version. We've already kind of talked about him, but I was like, that's weird. Okay. There is one that I want to talk about, but like I'm not going to just because of how the world is right now. I'm not trying to make anybody mad. I'll tell you about it when we get off. Okay.
In 5 years from now, it should be okay.
Yeah. The world's too. We're not ready for this story, so. Okay. I'm gonna do this one. This is about the Vulture Mine / city in Arizona. Well, this place began in 1913 along with like a small mining town. Basically, the mining in this like small area took off, so then it became a town, Well, the population of the town was like several thousand, so it was like tiny.
Tiny?
Well, they basically, like, it was tiny. They only had a brothel, a mess hall, and a post office. And, like their houses, but, like, it wasn't really that many people. So, in 1942, the mine got shut down for the first time by a regulatory agency for processing gold. So, they got a violation. Basically, the people that were doing it, they got a violation because from what I can understand, they couldn't like go find gold everywhere else. They can only find gold on like war land. Or like yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I got really confused at the part. Like basically
Like
they got in trouble
Warland.
they basically got in trouble for mining gold.
How do you get in trouble from my? Well, if you don't have a permit or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But they were getting in trouble because like they were getting more than what they just needed to like barely get by. Well, basically after, it opened and closed a few times. Well, Dad, the hangman's tree, the little tree with the sign.
Oh,
yeah,
shoot.
Well, this is sad. I'm not trying to offend anybody. So 18 miners were hung from a tree for stealing gold. This was between the 1860s and the 1900s.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Steal my gold. I'll hang ya.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, I know they weren't all at the same time, because it was within a variation of 40 years. But, like, it was in parentheses, stealing gold. Like, and they were literally just mining somewhere they shouldn't have. They got killed for it. So the paranormal activity there is high.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I'm pretty sure those miners were pissed off. I would be too. And I mean, they feel sad and odd feelings whenever, people enter that area. But, okay, so let's, get off the sad stuff.
It's still a creepy little town.
It is. It's a creepy
town,
but it's like small, and it's like one of like the ghost towns.
Yeah, a lot of it's still intact.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. Spend the night there and do a live podcast.
What if like one of the ghosts tries to hang us?
That's what we want to do eventually, everybody, is do a podcast in a haunted house somewhere.
I want to do Hill House now.
Yes. Anyways.
Okay, let's talk about our Halloween stuff. Because, okay, we're done with our stories, But this is actually perfect because we needed to talk to you guys about this Halloween stuff. So, this is going to be our last episode for August. And we looked at the calendar and it works out perfectly because because between September and October, from the 1st to the 31st, we post every Wednesday. So we have 9 Wednesdays to post Halloween stuff. And in September, we're going to do kind of like medium level, like just kind of like getting up there. And in Halloween, we're going to like just slamming it. And we need to try to come up with like a really, really, really good special.
Yes.
Because September,
special.
We have part 2 for the Wendigo. So like we already have September covered.
But who knows, if y'all are good for the Patreon fans, we could do something special for y'all.
But we do need help coming up with ideas, and we just want to hear more from you guys. So like, okay, so
yeah, just let us know.
Yeah.
Email us.
Send
something.
us some, not even just email, like Instagram, Facebook. It's, just follow us, give it a like. I want to do like a poll thing on Instagram because I don't know how to do it on Facebook, but I can figure it out. About like what would you guys like rather hear about, or like y'all can just send me stuff and just be like, hey, have you heard of this? This is a cool story. Or hey, I live, or hey, this is my experience. You can use it in the podcast, or like.
Or we can play Would You Rather
for an hour.
They can email us and say, would you rather eat an eyeball or take a spike in the eye?
Oh yeah, that would be like a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing Truth or Dare on a podcast.
No, we could do
Would you rather, like Halloween edition.
Yeah. So
that could be like an episode. Just kind of send us some stuff or stories. I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
I know this one's a shorty, but I don't think we've had
sorry
one this
about
short.
that, guys.
We're not really focused on 17. We're more focused on the Halloween stuff.
I know.
Right now.
Sorry,
we're excited.
Don't forget, we're on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Apple
Podcasts, to be specific.
Yeah. And,
also, we're on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. Instagram and Twitter is South Texas Ghost. The Texas is TX, like it's abbreviated. Facebook is Ghost Stories Told from the South, and our email is ghoststoriesToldFromTheSouth@gmail.com. So yeah, don't forget to hit us up. Oh, and a little sneak peek. I'm not going to give out a lot, but we are going to revisit. We already know about it, but I know you guys probably don't. Some local stuff in our own town for Halloween. And also, I'm going to be talking about some movies that are based on a true story. So that's exciting. And I'm also going to be going all over the world, not literally, but all over the world, trying to get new places. So, like UK, England, that's the same place, isn't it?
Yeah. Same area.
UK, Bangladesh, Ireland, Ireland. Everybody that subscribed to us, we're pretty much trying to get one place from each. One good place from each.
Yeah.
So, well.
That's not it yet. I've been trying to tell them about Patreon now for 5 minutes.
Sorry.
And then when I start, we've been doing a lot of stuff on Patreon. We got a Patreon page. It's a Booth Podcasting Incorporated. So look that up.
We got Podbean, but
we got Podbean too. But on Patreon, we're starting to put videos and stuff on there.
Oh yeah, because you guys were always like, "Oh my God, we're looking at our computer." We're like I talk a lot with my hands. You guys can see what we look like. Not only that,
get
but
some behind the scenes stuff
because we turn the camera on as we're setting up.
So you get behind the scenes stuff.
Get more of like who we are and stuff, and
see some of our pictures on there, and then too. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. We've been sticking videos on there, and if you go to the Patreon and become a member, become one of our members, you can go on there and get our series a day before it comes out on Spotify.
Yep.
And everything else. So That's another behind the feature you'll get. If you pay the $5 membership, you get the early releases a day before they come out for the regular folk. You get to see our videos we do and the behind the scenes stuff. So,
Oh, so I'm gonna promote myself for a minute. Okay, so mine and my sister's podcast, we've been working on it like really, really hard. We're trying to get Instagram and all that going. It's What's Really Out There by Lexi and Stephanie. Well, I think y'all should check it out. We basically cover like conspiracy theories and Mandela effects, unsolved murders and mysteries. The next few like the next few episodes coming out are of me, Stephanie, and my friend Michaela. And then after that, we're gonna switch to me and my dad and Stephanie. And then, like, this is a podcast that's gonna have like a guest for every episode, pretty much, because Stephanie's 10 and she doesn't really know how to like talk on her own and on a microphone. To basically
she
to an
needs
audience.
somebody there to poke her along.
Yeah, but we don't really know anybody that's like permanent yet, so we're just going with the flow. So, y'all should check that one out. That one comes out every Tuesday, and right now we are just available on, I think, Google Play and Spotify and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but we are trying to get on more stuff, like I said, and just opening it up. But we will let you guys go. Sorry that this one was like not as interesting, but we are kind of more excited for Halloween. So, anything you want to add?
I don't know. Every time I try to.
I'm sorry.
Don't forget to check out our other podcast, Borderline Texas Trash. And you guys, we want to say thank you too. We got like almost 300 downloads from you guys.
Oh,
so keep it up, keep downloading, and guys, you'll be very good now, and don't be too scared when you go to bed tonight. Watch out for the spooky mad monsters under your bed.
Bye, guys. See you later.